Greetings, folks. Video from yesterday has 0 views, so I'm feeling kind of like I'm just making content, just standing in an empty theater with a microphone. But hey, if you clicked on this, you're probably crazy. I don't know what you're doing, because this is deep on the internet somewhere, and you have to probably search the exact title, which I don't even know what it's going to be yet. So kudos to you, really, for sticking through this, because today you get to hear me talk about fitting with the weather here, the Phoenix Suns. How about that? I was thinking of teams I haven't really talked about yet. I don't know if it's telling yet that there's just not. We're going to see if I can actually talk about the Phoenix Suns all the way to the grocery store, because I got to buy a hamburger for tacos tonight. It might be a challenge, I'm not going to lie to you, because, they extended some guys. Weird trade for Landry Shamet. Not weird, just kind of like random. They traded Javon Carter and a pick for Landry Shamet. I don't really know what to make of that. I mean, Javon Carter's not bad. Landry Shamet's not bad. I don't know if there's really an upgrade there. Maybe a little bit. Landry Shamet can hit some shots. It can't hurt, I also signed Elfrid Payton, my man. Love point guards that can't shoot, like, at all. One of those, like, crazy things that will always blow my mind is how someone makes it to the NBA at, like, 6'1", and cannot shoot the basketball outside of, like, maybe 13 feet or so. So all this Ben Simmons talk, maybe it should really be directed at Elfrid Payton, okay, because he's the exact same way. And, it speaks to Ben Simmons as a defender that no one talks about Elfrid Payton basically having the exact same problem. And no one really talks about Elfrid Payton anyways, because he's never really been on a winning team. So maybe that's why we talk about Ben Simmons, because he was in the playoffs. And it's just a bigger story. They also brought in JaVale McGee. Very exciting. Champion JaVale McGee. And I think, he's looking for another ring. So he's taking his chances with Phoenix and Monty Williams and company. Chris Paul said something like now he's like hooked on getting the NBA Finals or something and wants to go back. I don't know how that was like a real quote, like that's supposed to be surprising, or like, yeah, were you not trying to get to the NBA Finals before Chris Paul? Like, of course you're hooked, dude. You like made it. Like that's good. You definitely should want to get back there. Like I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I actually have some insider information that says there was some tensions between Chris Paul and Devin Booker during the finals, and I could see it. Because Chris Paul obviously is like the de facto leader, right? Because he's the oldest, most experienced, most accomplished. But the thing is, the one thing he doesn't have experience in is the NBA Finals. So when he's the guy being vocal and trying to get people together, maybe it's after a Bucks run, or what are the losses? And it's like, well, Chris Paul, like I know you've played a lot of basketball, but you've never been here before. You're just like the rest of us. Maybe we should be listening to Jay Crowder. He made it to a Bubbles final, right? Maybe not. It's also like it was his first year there too, so it's like, bro, you came in here, you're gonna take over the team, and like D-Book, has been there for his entire career, which isn't like not obviously a long time, but still, he's been there his whole time. I could see it, I don't know if that'll continue. I think for the regular season things will, chill out for the time being, but this team's hungry. I think they are. Once they did get a taste of it, and it's a primarily young team, losing Sarge killed them. So, injury bug, that happens. and it's just like a war just to get to the finals completely healthy, just for everyone involved, even coaches, physically and psychologically. So we can't downplay the importance of Sarge, going down with an injury. And, I think it was weird. Everyone flip-flopped on Ayton throughout the playoffs, where he was drawing like David Robinson comparisons, and then he went for like 10 and 10, and it was like, oh, maybe he's not great. And I think, his development has more to do with Chris Paul being there than it does with like DeAndre Ayton taking a huge step, just like isolating a vacuum as a basketball player. I'm not like completely sold. I don't know. He's weird because he kind of reminds me of Greg Oden in that he kind of looks like he's like 40 already. Doesn't obviously have like the history of injuries that Greg Oden had. I don't know, he just looks old, which I don't know if that means anything, but obviously in terms of him being able to perform day in and day out for a long term, he's a number one pick, so he should be there for a very long time. They're going to be looking to extend him, I'm assuming. We'll have to see. He's going to be a tough one to evaluate, what he's worth long term in terms of trying to figure out a number, just because, not sure if we've seen the best of him yet. And that could be good for the Suns if they pay him what he's worth now and he gets better, then, then it's a team-friendly deal. Mikal Bridges, on the other hand, there's, rumors he wants close to max money. I don't think that's a guy you give close to max money to, even though, he does a lot of things really well and it was a key piece in their playoff run. He's kind of like, yeah, he's not worth that. I could see maybe 4 for $80, something like in that range. I'd still be a little like, but I think he's probably worth 20 mil, being as big a factor as he was, come playoff time. So that's something that Suns are gonna have to figure out. That's something that both of those contracts, I don't know how that fits with Booker and Chris Paul's obviously a huge chunk of that. And that contract, he hasn't shown signs of stopping. I feel like if his game was going to like decline due to age, it would have already. You know what I'm saying? Like him physically where he is now, like we would have seen a steep decline if it was going to happen. I think it's going to be a slow, much slower, even a plateau maybe, because he's still got it physically, and he's not like banging bodies down low or something. Pause. So I think Chris Paul should be fine. I also decided not to get hamburger for tacos. I'll get it later, because I probably smell. I always feel weird walking to the grocery store because I just smell like grassy ass, and just sweat and filth and whatnot. So I'll go back. You won't be there for that drive, because it's not part of my afternoon commute anymore. So too bad with that. Too bad. Just too bad you don't get to hear that. What else do we have to say about this Phoenix Suns team? I mean, will they repeat? I mean, gut instinct says no, just because it's like really hard to get to the finals ever, and I don't want to say they caught a break like this season. Just in general, it seemed like a Bucks-Suns finals was not really in the cards, and then it felt more of like a process of elimination than like they, which like obviously the playoffs are a process of elimination. You're literally like teams get eliminated round by round, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's kind of like other things happen to other teams versus like the Bucks and Suns. I mean, they took advantage of the opportunity, obviously, but like everyone's healthy. I don't think either of these teams probably get there, and they suffer their own injuries. So I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying, like, to get to the NBA Finals has an element of luck, which you have to factor into like a repeat situation. You have to think, Lakers can be better if they're healthy. You still have to go through Utah. You still probably have to go through Denver, Dallas. you know, like, it's not an easy road. It never is an easy road. I mean, they completed it once, but to do it again, they're definitely equipped to. I'll say that. It's not, like, impossible. It's just, you know, it's that whole thing of, like, we think it's like, less likely to happen a second time consecutively. You know, when it's the exact same chances. Like, that's just statistics, you know what I'm saying? Like, the odds of rolling, like, if you have a 6-sided die and you roll a 3, the odds of you rolling a 3 the second time are the exact same as it was the first time. The first roll has no effect on the second roll. So it's kind of like that. Obviously, there are a lot more factors involved in determining, like, an NBA Finals, you know, team. But I'm just gonna say, like, last year shouldn't have anything to do with it. So we'll say that. It's hard to say, like, because I honestly, like, the East, you can definitively say a lot of teams got better. The West, I think it's just a matter of teams staying healthy, because there weren't as many, like, the blockbusters, you know. Russell Lakers seems to be the big, you know, East to West, you know, transition. I'm trying to think if there were any other ones. None come up off the top of my head. Obviously, there were some little ones. Memphis, you know, Memphis getting Steven Adams is not, like, a big deal, but that's another kind of move that happened. We'll see, like, some of the bottom teams, like Houston probably got better, Minnesota maybe, but obviously that doesn't affect, you know, 1 through 6. So, I don't know, I think Phoenix will be in the mix. Phoenix will be in the Phoenix on this sunny afternoon. That's what I have to say about them. I got home, actually, the grocery store is closer to home, so I actually talked about them more than I had to if I decided to get hamburger. So that's pretty impressive. Give me some credit. If you got to the end of this, much less if you just watched it and counted as a view, if you actually got to the end of this, like, good for you. Thank you. Maybe my condolences. I don't know how to address you here. Maybe I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, we made it. It's another video, and whoever's out there, take care of yourselves. Take it easy, and I was thinking as I was saying that I should probably just say take care of yourself, because it's just probably one person. So take care of yourself. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.